Hey guys, today I'm going to be making some meals for church for our Wednesday night supper, because every Wednesday night we have the option of eating supper at church before church. We just have Bible studies on Wednesday night. Prayer meeting, Bible study, and I offered to make our dinner tonight. So I'm making this smokehouse stew, which you guys have seen before if you have watched some of my previous videos. I'll try to remember to link it either in the iCards or down below, but I do have a couple of videos with me cooking that, so I'm not going to show you that one. But the last time I made this that I'm about to show you, I said if Jeff liked it, because we had never had it before, if Jeff liked it, I would cook it again. Now, this is not something I eat because I don't like cooked cabbage, but he really liked it, and I thought I could take it for tonight. And a lot of people like the idea of it. So it's one pot unstuffed cabbage soup with ground beef, and I'm going to just get the camera turned around here and show you how I'm going to do it. Now, the first time I did it all on the stovetop, and it took maybe 30-45 minutes to do it. This time I'm doing it in the slow cooker. I'm going to try that method because I'm taking it to church. But I'll link the recipe down below so you can see all of it, how to do it many ways. There's, let's see, the Instant Pot method, which I'm not doing, the slow cooker method, and the regular method. So there's 3 different ways you could do this. So I'm going to get down here and get this started. Okay, so hopefully y'all can see down in this Instant Pot. I've got me one of these little, it's an actual Instant Pot thing, and it has a magnet on the back so it sticks to your Instant Pot whenever you're not using it. But it's a little thing to keep your pot from moving. I'm just going to tell y'all about that, because otherwise it's going to do that the whole time you're cooking if you don't have one. So the first thing I need to do is add a tablespoon of olive oil to my pot. It's probably about a tablespoon. And hopefully, well, it's on saute. Hopefully it's getting warm enough to do this. We'll see. And then I have 1 large onion diced. And I have, I'm using Vidalia because that's what I had. I could have used a purple one, but or red onion, whatever it is. It's purple. The color is purple anyways. It's just called a red onion. But anyway, 1 large diced onion, whatever kind you want to use. It doesn't call for a certain one. And I'm going to saute this until it's translucent, and then I'm going to put the ground beef in. Now, this was a really big onion, and I am making just a little bit more than what the recipe calls for. I'm just telling you what the recipe is. I have about 1.5 pounds of ground beef. And since I'm making it to take to church for everybody to eat, I'm just making a little bit more. Not much more, because the pot won't hold much more. And normally, if you're using the Instant Pot method, you wouldn't go past this line right here. And it's different whenever you're using the slow cooker method. So if you see it go above that line, don't worry about it. It's fine, because there's no pressure got to be built up. But I'm just going to let this saute, get translucent, and then I'm going to put my ground beef in there. Okay, so these are translucent. They're a little bit brown, but that's okay. And now I'm going to put in the ground beef. I can unwrap it. If you smash it, it'll feel better. are easier. Alright, so I'm going to get that broken apart and get it cooking. And once it is done, we'll go to the part where it's just slow cooking part. But I'll be showing you all of that too. But and this right here, this is part of a cow that, isn't this one that Stanley raised? Anyway, it's fresh ground beef that was farm raised, grass fed. We know where it came from. That's what it is. Up the road. Might have been. I don't know. Well, either way, it was somebody that right here near home anyways. So get that cooked up, and I'm gonna keep processing stuff. I've got carrots chopped up, and Jeff's peeling the garlic for me, and gonna get the cabbage done. We've got the, what is that, tomato paste ready. That's something that whenever I use tomato paste and I open the whole can, but I don't always need it, I will freeze it and have it for later. So there's some of that. But I'll be back once this part's done. Okay, so you can't really see in there. Let me see if I can change the lighting some. Wrong way. There. Y'all probably hadn't been able to see very good the whole time. Anyway, at this point, I'm going to turn it off and saute, and I'm going to put it on slow cook just to have it on there. But we're supposed to put the garlic in and let it cook for 1 minute before we do anything else. So I'm going to get that. I'm going to get that in there and let it go. And while it's cooking, I think I need to get, yeah, my salt and pepper and stuff like that. So Jeff is cutting up the cabbage and getting the cabbage ready to cut up. So let's get salt and pepper, excuse me. Alright, we need 1 1/4 teaspoons of salt. That's a teaspoon. I thought for a minute I got a 1/2 teaspoon. And this is pink salt with all the minerals in it. It's actually the real salt brand. Then 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. Stir that around some. Alright. Now I'm going to put chicken broth, or no, beef broth in, 4 cups. And what I did is I used my beef bouillon and made my own. Put that in, get it stirred up. Where are the tomatoes at? Okay, so it calls for a 14-ounce can of crushed tomatoes. This one I think is 15, but that's alright. We're putting it all in there. I'm not going to try to keep any out. I wouldn't put less than that. Alright, and then it calls for a 15-ounce can of diced tomatoes, but ours is 14.5. But I think that sizes have changed. Those are kind of crushed looking too, instead of just diced. what else? And then the there's supposed to be 1 tablespoon of tomato paste. I thought it said 2. We're putting it all in there since I have extra. It's fine. It'll be alright. And it is still a little bit frozen, but it won't be very long. Okay. 2 large carrots, peeled and diced. Maybe they're diced small enough. 1/2 cup of long grain white rice. Can't reach the Worcestershire. Two teaspoons of Worcestershire sauce, or if you're us, a little bit more, but at least 2. Now the next ingredient is optional, but I'm gonna do it just to break up the acidity a little bit. If I can find another tablespoon. 1 tablespoon of brown sugar. I've got my sugar hidden. It just breaks up the acidity of all the tomatoes. Okay, so the last thing I'm putting in is the lettuce. That hadn't been washed yet, has it? Not lettuce.
Is it lettuce?
Well, I guess it looks like is it a type of lettuce? Cabbage. I'm looking over there thinking lettuce. Has it been washed?
Nope.
Okay, he's gonna wash that, and then I'm gonna put it in there. So I'll come back whenever I do that part. Okay, so I'm going to start putting the cabbage in. It calls for a 14-ounce green cabbage cord cut in bite-sized pieces, about 1 small head of cabbage. Jeff got the biggest head of cabbage there was, which was 6 pounds, over 6 pounds. So that's what we have, but we're not going to put it all in here. Do you think these pieces are small enough?
It'll cook down.
I know it'll cook down. But anyway, we're just going to put it in here until, I don't know when, until Jeff says.
Fill her up.
I'm going to try to smoosh it down at the bottom. Or not smoosh it necessarily, but get all the flavors in there. There's still a little bit in there. And I did take my little thing off the side. This little doodad. Do you think we need more? I mean, I know cabbage cooks down a lot, but
No, you put extra everything else in there.
yeah, I put extra everything else. But that was a 6-pound cabbage, not a less than 1 pound cabbage. I didn't put extra rice though. That's the only thing I didn't put extra of. And I didn't put extra salt and pepper, really. And I didn't put extra broth, but I can add some more if I need to. If I see that it needs some more, I'll just come over and add some, because I've got plenty of time to do that. Because we've got hours before church. And this is going to be cooking for hours. So, you putting more in? Okay. Alright, so I do have it on, I had it on high. So I'm going to let it cook on high for a while, then I'll move it down to a lower temperature just to make sure that it, you know, make sure it's not cooking too fast, but make sure it cooks quick enough that we can have it. And I will come over, and I know usually with a slow cooker you're not supposed to stir it or anything, but I want to make sure all this gets down in there, so I'll come over and check it, and if I need to open it I will. And also with this, I don't have the lid that goes for slow cooking. Huh? What?
Coming in.
Oh, I don't know what you were saying. But I don't have the lid that actually goes for the Instant Pot for slow cooking. I don't have one of those. So I have another lid that I use, and it works just fine. But before we go to church, I'll put my regular Instant Pot lid back on here. This is enough. We don't need any more in here. I'm afraid it will be a mess if we put any more. So I'm going to put the lid on, and like I said, I'll come over and check it. But right now, it's got to do its thing. Okay, guys, this is the way it ended up looking. I almost forgot to record it. We're about to go to church. And, yeah, that's the way it ended up. It smells good, even though I don't like cooked cabbage. Jeff said it tastes good because, of course, we had to have him test it. But there it is, fogging up the place.